Hello and welcome back to the next segment of Daily Bible Bites here at Mount Olive Multicultural Community Church. Today we are jumping into chapter 17 and we will go through chapter 17, 18, and 19 of the book of Exodus. Now the people of Israel left the Sin Desert going to Rephidim, but there was no water. So once more the people complained to Moses, "Give us water. Why did you bring us here to die?" Then Moses pleaded with God, "What shall I do? For they are ready to stone me." Then God said, "Take the elders to Mount Horeb. I will meet you there at the rock. Strike it with your rod, and the water will come pouring out." Moses named the place Massah, and sometimes Meribah, meaning argument and strife, for the people argued against God and tempted him to slay them. But now the warriors of Amalek came to fight Israel. Moses instructed Joshua to issue a call to arms. So Joshua went out to fight the army of Amalek. Meanwhile, Moses, Aaron, and Hur went to the top of the hill. And as long as Moses held up his hands, Israel was winning. But whenever he rested his arms, the soldiers of Amalek were winning. So Aaron and Hur rolled a stone for him to sit on, and they stood holding up his hands until sunset. As a result, Joshua and his troops crushed the army of Amalek. Then the Lord instructed Moses, "Write this record, that I will utterly blot out Amalek." Moses built an altar there and called it Jehovah Nissi, meaning God is my flag or God is my banner. 18. Word soon reached Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, about all the things that God had done. Then Jethro took Moses' wife to him, along with Moses' two sons. They arrived while Moses and the people were camped at Mount Sinai. Moses related to his father-in-law that the Lord had done all he had said he would do and how the Lord had delivered them out of Egypt. "Bless the Lord," Jethro said, "for he has saved you from Pharaoh." Jethro offered sacrifices to God. Aaron and the leaders of Israel came. So the next day Moses sat to hear the people's complaints. When Moses' father-in-law saw this, he said, "Why are you trying to do all this alone? The people come to me to ask for God's decisions." Moses told him, "I am their judge, instructing them in God's laws." "It's not right," his father-in-law exclaimed. "You're going to wear yourself out. Now listen, be their representative before God, teaching them God's laws. Find some capable men and appoint them as judges, one judge for each 1,000 people. He in turn will have 10 judges under him, and under them 2 judges, and each of these will have 5 judges beneath him. Let these men serve the people. Anything too important or complicated can be brought to you." Moses followed this suggestion. He chose able men to administer justice. They brought the hard cases to Moses. 19. The Israelis arrived in the Sinai Peninsula 3 months after their departure to the base of Mount Sinai. Moses climbed the mountain to meet with God, and from the mountain, God called to him and said, "Give these instructions to Israel. You have seen how I brought you to myself. Now, if you obey me and keep your part of my contract with you, you shall be my flock and a kingdom of priests to God, a holy nation." Moses called together the people and told them what the Lord said. They all responded, "We will do everything he asks of us." Moses reported the words to the Lord. Then he said, "I come to you in the form of a dark cloud so that the people can hear me when I talk with you. Go and see that the people are ready for my visit. Sanctify them. Then the next day after tomorrow, I will come down as all the people watch. Set boundary lines and tell them, do not go up into the mountain. Whoever does shall die. Stay away from the mountain until you hear a ram's horn sounding, then gather at the foot of the mountain." So Moses sanctified them. On the 3rd day, there was a thunder and lightning, and a huge cloud came down upon the mountain, and a long, loud blast as from a ram's horn, and the people trembled. Moses led them from the camp to meet God. All Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because God descended in the form of fire, and the whole mountain shook as the trumpet grew louder and louder. Moses spoke, and God thundered his reply. So the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mountain, but the Lord told Moses, "Warn the people not to cross the boundaries, for they will die." "But the people won't come up," Moses protested. "You set boundaries around the mountain reserved for God." But God said, "Bring Aaron back with you." So Moses went down to the people. This is a simple lesson that I believe all of us need to take heed of today. We have two instances in 17 and 18 where people helped. Okay. People didn't do things alone. Moses, in particular, didn't do things alone, although he tried to. We have the first time when each time the arms were raised, each time Moses raised up his arms, the team began winning. Amen. Or the group began winning against Amalek. But every time he put his arms down, they began to be defeated. So when he became tired, other men from his group came and helped him hold his arms up. That's what we have to do. We have to help each other. There are battles that we do not need to fight alone. There are tasks that we do not need to complete alone. God gave us people so that we can be a group, so that we can be a team, so that we can help each other. We see over in the next chapter another instance where his father-in-law told him, you can't do this all by yourself. And he told him how to set up an administrative team, amen, how to get people to report to him and how to have people under that second tier to report to them. And then all the tasks that needed to be completed could then be completed, not only effectively, but efficiently. There are things that we know how to do, but it can be done better if we have the help of other people. Amen. And then in chapter 19, we see one of the final verses here. It says, you set boundaries. That's in verse 23 of 19. You set boundaries. That's what we have to do in our own lives. It's never a bad thing to say no. Now, if we say no selfishly all the time, yes, it's bad. We're being negative. We're being selfish. We're not being giving. We're not being loving. But when we are constantly saying yes, 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 to the point where we're tired out and we don't have the help, then it will just wear us out and nobody will get anything that they need from us, not even ourselves, not our families, not our friends and loved ones, not our church members, not anyone, including ourselves. So I leave you with verse 23, that line that says, you set boundaries. Get help from other people when it is necessary and set boundaries. Don't wear yourself out. We're only one person each with two hands. Amen. 2 eyes, 2 ears. And if we have more put together, everything works better and everything is done more effectively and more efficiently. Thank you so much for joining us for this segment of Daily Bible Bites. Join us back for our next segment where we will finish up in 20 and 21 and be caught up right to where we should be. Thank you again for joining us during this slight hiatus that we had as we're mourning the death of my father-in-law, my husband's dad. Thank you again. Please join us on the other side at www.dltmoreministries.com. God bless you, and we'll see you again next time.